I'm about to start to deliver my speech to my audience. As you can see, I have 6 members in my audience, and I have handouts as well to know exactly what I'm going to be talking about. And I also got a critique for them to be able to critique my speech. And we're about to start. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Norris Johnson. It is a pleasure to be part of this speech today, and I am given a project to speak on any topic that I chose. And I happen to have learned about the Great Pyramid of Giza, which is located in Egypt. And the central idea is, it is a great opportunity for me to be able to give you some historical overviews of the Great Pyramid, why it was built, and what does it mean to us today. There are many amazing and mysterious things in the world that continue to puzzle mankind today into how they came to existence. Their survival over time is subject to debate because no one knows how long they have been in existence. Such structures are treasured in their countries of origin. They are items of national heritage. And if you have ever heard about the Great Pyramid of Egypt, if you have the opportunity to go and visit there, by all means go there and visit. It is a great place, and it is really, really amazing. And the Great Pyramid is one of the few wonders of the world. Matter of fact, we have 7 of those wonders in the world today. And the only one today that is in existence is the Great Pyramid, where you can walk, you feel, you touch, you see, and you kind of feel related. You kind of feel connected to it. So that's why today is one of the best places that you can, if you have the opportunity to visit, by all means go out there and visit. And I will now give you some historical background of why is the Great Pyramid of Egypt. First of all, because I just don't want to talk to you about the pyramid without no historical background. In fact, there are only 7 wonders, as I said, in the world, that the Great Pyramid is one of them. What is so great about the Great Pyramid of Egypt? According to the Great Pyramid of Egypt History and Speculations rated by James Bond in 2004 edition, the pyramid is the only remnant of the wonders as they are in journals and personal accounts of early travelers and archaeologists. It took explorers and archaeologists about the hundreds of years of uncover all of the ways out, in and out of the pyramid. So that means today you can just enter the pyramid without even knowing how to navigate yourself in the pyramid, because most of the roads kind of end in daylight. So somebody really have to take you through. And these things were built for specific reasons. It stood out as the world's tallest building for a long time, making it as one of the finest constructions in the ancient world. Its structure was very magnificent and consisted of shining interior limestone finished in an inner coat made of stones. The fine other finish implies that the pyramid was constructed for a royal in ancient Egypt, most likely the pharaoh. Two other pyramids stand by the major one. One is on the left, one is on the right. And among those 3 pyramids, if you look in your hand, you're going to find that they got 3 little pyramids also in there. But today there is a debate that there might have been another more 4th one, which should be like 7 of them. But that is still yet to be proven. On top of that, the distance they had, let me backtrack a little bit, let me just digress a little bit. The granite stones making the core structure are so huge that getting them into a height of about 50 meters and would have required a technology that is still unavailable to us today. So you kind of think, if you look at those structures, those stones, how big they are, you start to think, how did they build this? How did this elevate this from one point to another point? Today we're still trying to figure out how did they do that. One building block weighed about 25 to 80 tons. So it is very big how much of stress it would have caused to build the buildings. On top of that, the distance that they had to transport the building materials is about 500 meters away from the Ansel Dam area, which is part of Egypt as well. As stated by Brunswick in his 2002 edition on page 77 and on page 78, what intrigues both engineers and archaeologists are how this ancient community transported the blocks leading to The conclusion that this is the reason why it took about 10 to 20 years. The interior comprises of many paths and leads to a dead end, as I said, and those to so strengthened that it would take years to open. The reason behind the strengthening was purely for security. After hearing some historical background of the pyramid, I will now give you some reasons why the pyramid was built. The pyramid was built for a burial center for kings and queens during those ancient times. And there were so many kings who they taught that were kind of related to God. Excuse me for mine. Were related to God. But they decided that, hey, we need to treat them as well, even though they are dead. So we're going to build a pyramid and make sure that we're going to build a pyramid that will be so special for them. And that's the reason why they decided to build a pyramid. And those pyramids, they had areas of divisions. They had the kings, they had their own king's room where the kings would have been buried, and they had the queens where the queens would have been buried. Security was key, thus the logic behind many paths leading to dead ends. According to the Center of Gaza in the World Almanac Library, the entrance is about 17 meters above the ground, and it is where people originally accessed the pyramid. Currently, tourists access the pyramid through the rubber doors. They created some sort of rubber doors just to allow tourists to go in there. So we're not really using the main entrance today. Now that I have given you some historical reasons why the pyramid was built, I will now tell you some importance of the pyramid today. The pyramid played an important part in modern world. And stated by Howard Mark in his book in 2003 edition, the construction of the Great Pyramid of Gaza, according to him on page 78, it acts as a reminder that today it is important for us to maintain certain historical things that will be matters to us in the future. Because those are how archaeologists acquire knowledge in order for us to be able to move on to preserve history. There are close relations between ancient Greek and Egypt, and knowledge of information is existing today. Egypt, sociology or society gained their knowledge from Egypt based on these technologies. There is a need for all people to preserve this real relic in future generation. The pyramid are tourist attractions, and they earn countries many chances to develop for development purposes. Now I will now conclude by saying, giving you the central idea. The Great Pyramid of Gaza is one of the few wonders of the world. It is the only one that is standing on earth today. The pyramid provides a great scene to watch. The pyramid was a burial place for kings who the inhabitants thought was so close to God to the point that worshiping them. Their structure and general autonomy are interesting things to watch. There have been several productions of documentaries and movies praising this great generation or this great pyramid. It is probably the most famous site in Egypt today. The Great Pyramid of Gaza is fascinating and worth for millions of years to come. Thank you. That concludes my speech. I don't like heat. Tears will come.
This concludes my birthday.
You fill in the top part where it's the speaker and
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Did you get your time?
What was the topic?